Welcome to the Elements of Spirit reading for the water element for the week of March 13th, 2017. This is a reading for water signs, water sun signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. If you haven't already, listen to the ether reading because the ether reading gives you a sense of the lay of the land. And then this water reading will give you a sense of how to work with your own strengths and weaknesses to effectively harness the power that is in this present moment, which has to do, just because it came through a little while ago, it has to do with this Venus retrograde turning things around. How do I get what I want? How do I attract my, how do I attract things? How do I attract the stuff that I desire? But also what matters to me. How do I radiate my sense of worth versus the elements that come to me affirming and supporting that? Am I radiating? Oh, yeah, and the full moon. So we just hit this. We're hitting this Sunday the 12th. Massive. We just hit this massive full moon in Virgo about creating new order, new structures, new plans of attack, new approaches, new ways of serving that will hopefully further color this question of how do I feel about my own value? How do I feel about my sense of worth? Am I projecting worth and value and therefore attracting worth and value, or am I attracting lack and therefore projecting lack? Interesting. So we get this for the water sign, for the water element, we get this downward facing triangle, which is traditionally a symbol for the element of water, but they show me here a drain. Let density go. You are too clogged by reality in quotes, to effectively, sorry, I don't know if you can hear that, but you are too clogged by reality to effectively express your purest truth. Wow, so this is saying that there was dead weight preventing clarity, and this week you have to let it fall away. Ooh. Great. I allow the release of all that obscures my light / truth / self. So I'm going to keep it as light in the affirmation, but so the idea here, guys, is that we go to the ether reading of I choose to articulate the truth, my truth, in support of a sustainable cosmology or world model. I choose to articulate the truth in support of sustainable priorities, right? The water reading is saying to us, let density go. You are too clogged by reality to effectively express your purest truth. This says, water signies, that there is some shit that's trying to get flushed. There's some stuff that wants to leave your consciousness. And, as water signs, we can be very emotional around loss. We can become very clingy without even knowing that we're becoming clingy. We hold on to things that are actually rotting and stagnating in our water. Perfect example. It's like when you keep flowers in water for too long and they start to decompose. Water is such a great solvent. It can break down matter to the point that it becomes like methane, farty, stagnant, rotting stuff. And that's the thing, is the same, if you take a stone, a crystal, and dunk it in some water and use its dissolving properties to cleanse it, awesome. You leave it in the water, it might start to dissolve or fragment or, disassemble, dissociate, decompose, putrefy is the word. It's one of the words in the, I think it's in the Thoth deck, the Aleister Crowley deck. It's called, I don't know if it's a card that's called that, but there's a great word, putrefaction, that water has the ability to decompose, to putrefy. So the idea here is that, like, there's stuff in process. Like, you are set up to be releasing whatever weight, whatever shit, whatever decomposing matter no longer serves you, but you have to allow it to go. That's the affirmation. I allow the release of all that obscures my light. Because the theory is that if you are able to allow that release, you're at least affirming that you have a light that is being obscured. You're at least affirming that there's something in your experience and something in your perspective which is valuable, which is clear, which is beautiful. Something that wants to be articulated, going back to the ether reading, something that wants to be articulated in support of sustainable priorities. So it's saying, I know I'm good. I feel so bad. Whatever has been clogging my works up or putrefying within me has been preventing the clarity of my perspective from articulating itself. I am, because I focus on the problem, I become the problem. Because I am too afraid to release what's not working for me, I stay stuck. Not necessarily in the old world view, but I'm definitely not in the new world view. My vision, my clarity, my light is obscured by the rotting of what's going on inside of me, this dead weight, this reality that I've been carrying along. So what this says is, it says this week, affirming this affirmation, I allow the release of all that obscures my light. I allow the release of all that obscures my light. I allow the release of all that obscures my light. I say, fuck it, let it go. I don't care, let it go. And the clarity that ensues is the ideal place for you to be able to go, hey, you know what? I am okay. I am okay. I am good. I am clear. And this clarity is my greatest tool in the creation of sustainable priorities or in the creation of a sustainable world model. I am the medium that feels so deeply the problems in this world and in my life, and the awesomes in this world and in my life. I feel them so deeply. I allow the release of all that obscures my light because it's not helping. Because it's not helping me to see more clearly, and it's certainly not helping me to articulate more clearly. But I know that it's there. And so in allowing the release, I greatly increase the likelihood that I'm going to be able to articulate what is working, what is good, and what is not working and what is not good. But it's my view is no longer obscured by the stuff that I'm holding on to because I simply haven't allowed it to go. And there is something to this, which is that, like, we as the water signs, as the water element, are going to be have the hardest time, not necessarily in changing. That tends to be the earth signs that have a harder time changing. We might change physically, mentally, and spiritually, but emotionally, there's this, like, emo longing for the way it used to be, for the way that life once was. Why can't it just be like that? Well, fine, cry about it and watch your whole life dissolve because you're missing the present because you're so focused on the past. That sounds harsh, maybe? I don't know, maybe it worked, but affirmation is, I allow the release of all that obscures my light, my truth, myself. See you next week. Bye.